Hello! How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all fine and well and doing well today. So I have exciting news for you. I don't know if you've noticed that I've posted that the workshop From Anxiety to Peace has finally been released, and I am so excited for you to sign up and just get on board. Like, honestly, like, the price is just ridiculously low. However, I'm doing this just because I really want to offer this, these techniques and tools and insights that I actually got privy to over 15 years ago, and it has served me so much with anxiety. I was a child of anxiety. And anxiety varies in its degrees in your body. So I had anxiety from a childhood. I didn't know it until life started to happen, and then it started to accelerate. And then at some point, anxiety was just part of who I was. It was just like it grabbed me. Like, I don't know if you know what this feels like. Well, if you have anxiety, you get this. It feels like you're held by something, like you're under the influence of something, and all this fear and anxiety just takes over. And so I was finally freed of it. And not in a bad way, but in a really good way. I got to understand what anxiety really meant for me specifically. I got to know the gifts of anxiety for me. And I understood in an upside down way that anxiety was here helping me discover things that I needed to know from my higher self, from source, and from my body compass, which I call the God compass. So this is what I want to offer you. To join my 3-day live workshop. It's Wednesdays, Friday, and Sunday. So there's a day rest in between to integrate the work. I'm going to be sharing my story, sharing the insights. We're going to be talking together. You'll ask your questions on the chat. It will be interactive. I will respond to them. And we will do some energetic movements to allow the anxiety energy to release and for you to get to know the specific gift of anxiety for you. Now, what happened with me is I rarely get anxiety. And the times that I do, the times that anxiety comes, it's nowhere close to how crazy it was, because now I get it. Plus, I understand why it's showing up and what it's trying to let me know. And so the dance that me and anxiety do at rare occasions now is more of a dance rather than me being the hostage of it, the hostage of anxiety. So I invite you, I truly do. This is really exciting. I invite you to sign up. Go to the link at the bottom. I'm going to share it in the comments. Check out the page. Just sign up. Take this. It's 3 days of your life that will free the rest of your life. So I just wanted to say that and introduce that. And I just wanted to also say, just grab onto it really quickly, because the price is really low now, and it goes up $10 every 6 days or something. So let's get into our topic today, which is co-creator. Co-creating. So if you have been watching a lot of spiritual things, healing things, awakening things, you're going into self-help, or you're going into this awakening world that a lot of us have stepped into, or a lot of you that are watching me have stepped into. Co-creating, at first, when I first got hold of that notion, I got really confused. Like, my brain couldn't get it. My system couldn't understand it. And I assumed it had to do with me visualizing, needing to manifest. So I would sit and I would write down all the things I want and sit and visualize them to manifest them. And I knew that if I had to visualize them, then I would feel them. Now, for years, one of the many workshops I was doing was vision board workshops. And these, I did them in schools with high schoolers. I did them for children with art, and I did them for adults, these workshops. And it was so much fun. But what I would do is there would be like it would go into like 2-3 days, but the first day would all be about them purging who they are. So I did it very differently, and it was very intuitive, but I would start to purge their limiting beliefs until they could acquire the kind of vision board they have. And a lot of times I would receive so much information about everything in their vision board coming true, because it was more of a truth that they were putting there without a limiting belief about their ability to have it or not, or whatever was trapped in there. And it was more honed into what they really wanted. Anyway, the point of saying this is that I did a lot of vision boards for others and for myself, and they always manifested, as far as I know. Now, so I assumed co-creating was that. It was me doing a thing, sitting and visualizing, feeling it deeply in my heart, right? Feeling the feeling of having it, and then it comes, and that's me co-creating. So me grabbing on to choosing the things I desire in life, right? For it to be part of who I am, to be my life experience. Now, in time, I started to understand as I shifted, because we're all going to shift. You're going to go through the phase where that really, really works, and then life is going to move you into a different state, right? Different stage. As you evolve, you move into different stages, and every stage shows you its gifts and then tells you, okay, these gifts, you've gotten the hang of it. Now we're going to stop these gifts because you have to move to a new direction. So then in time, I started to move into more of like, what if I just kind of accept what life is offering me instead of me being the decision maker? Because when things wouldn't happen, there would be so much frustration, anger, and I would notice like belief inside saying, you're not good enough. Of course, you don't deserve this. Nothing good happens for you. And I was like, ooh, so then it turns out that I was attached to the outcome. I was attached. My happiness was attached to these things, right? To whatever it is that I was trying to, what I understood, co-create. Just hang in there. I'm going to get you to where the true co-creating concept actually lives. So this was the next stage where it was like, okay, I'm really frustrated and angry and anxious and upset when I visualize and I do vision boards, because it's a lot of effort, right? And I sit and figure it out. And when it doesn't happen, I get really mad. And I start to think that I did something wrong, right? Or that source hates me. There was so much showing up. So as I walked through these emotions and I worked through them and I let them out, I was like, okay, life can't be that much effort. There must be a less effortful way to do things, right? This is the evolution of us, right? So first we want control, and then we decide this controlling thing really suffocates and causes us a lot of stress and anxiety and worry. So I move forward from there and start to ask, how else is it done? Then information comes and you're like, okay, I'll try this out. And so it's more of like, okay, how do I accept life the way it looks? When things show up, how do I accept life? And of course, there's a part that's like, oh, this is not really what I wanted. I really want that one, that thing, but this one, not really, and this one I didn't care much about and it happened. And that one I really care about, it's not happening. And then you evolve more and you're like, oh, there's an attachment there. So I've got to look at my limiting beliefs. Why do I want that specific thing to happen? What will it fulfill within me? And then we do more techniques and more tools and we work through that and we find out what it is and it comes out and wow, this is it. Now, all this is to become the co-creator. The truth of the matter is we do co-create our lives, and we do it by surrendering to what life has to offer. Life will offer life. Life will always be giving. It'll always be giving, whether you like it or not. It'll be giving you the things you want and the things you don't want, not knowing that maybe the things you don't want are the things that are actually leading you to the things you want. But our egoic mind, right, our body, our mental thoughts, our program in here, right, that is only programming our limited perception of things, decides right or wrong all the time. Not what I want. Well, not what I want. Oh God, I did it wrong. I did it right. Whatever, right? There's like always this shame and blame thing happening. In co-creating, the true meaning of co-creating is not that I sit and sway life and force it to become what I need it to become so I can feel that I matter, that I'm good enough, that I'm worthy, that people love me, that all this stuff, the gunk that's stuck and trapped in our bodies or has come forth into our bodies from our ancestors that are now creating the world we live in, creating our perceptions of the world, Co-creating means that whatever life brings forward, in whichever form, I can co-create it by how I perceive it. That is how I co-create with Source, right? Life is happening. I have visions of what I want my life to look like, or visions of what I feel my life is about. I feel really good about this. I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just feeling good. I'm bringing myself to a feel good place. That's it. The minute I think about it and it starts suffocating me, I kind of leave it. But it feels good. So, and then when life happens, the unexpected things in life that happen, right? I co-create by perceiving it in a certain way. So the same thing can happen, and I can perceive it in a bad way, or I can perceive it in a good way. And there's this thing that I heard years ago that I love. I don't use as often as I'd like to, but now I will again. That I love, it's like, instead of saying, this shouldn't be this way, or I have to go finish that work, or I have to pick up my kids from school, or I have to go grocery, or I have to clean the house, or the have to's, the this, where the things in life are showing up, right, that you have to do, right? Oh God, I'm gonna have to get stuck in traffic. You can use, and I forgot who shared this, if you know the name of the person that came up with this, because I don't want to take any credit for anything that isn't me specifically, but this person had said that you can say, I get to, right? I get to clean the house. I get to pick up my kids. I get to be in my car in traffic. I get to live here. I get to work on this project. I get to go to work, right? So it's a different way. And this is what co-creating means, because life happens anyway. Life happens anyway. And as life happens anyway, you have a choice. You can either be bitter about it, or you can choose to see it as this is the best thing that's happening for you. I'm not saying this is easy to do, because we've all been programmed to detect the negatives in life, to stay away from the negatives, right? Out of fear of like getting hurt. However, we co-create by our perceptions of how we perceive things in our lives. It doesn't mean that if there's a really toxic person in your life, for you to perceive them as amazing. You see the reality of the thing, and the perception is, this is for my best and highest good. Then now I see that they're toxic. How wonderful. Thank you, Source, for show me the next step. What am I to do from here? Instead of, oh my God, why am I in a toxic relationship? What did I do to deserve this? I have to figure it out. I'm always attracting this. This is always my life. Da 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 da. Right? We do that. I used to do that. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm always attracting narcissists. They're everywhere. And what is this? Does God hate me? Is this a punishment? Is this my karma? What is this? And there's this whole version of me. But the true perception where I can co-create with it is say, wow, look at how wonderful Source is. Source keeps identifying them so easily for me, and it's getting faster and faster for me to find my freedom, to walk away, to get clarity. Something is happening for me. Show me the next step. And that's just the co-creating aspect, right? Because this body we have here comes with a lot of stuff. Yay. There's lots of memories of the lineage of ancestors that are in our DNA. There's our own timelines that are trapped in the body. And then what happens, our brain is like this computer, and it just keeps those memories. But the ones that really show up are the fear-based ones to protect us from feeling pain again. But they're not necessarily truth. A lot of it is lies, right? They're not truth. So when we co-create, when we're being asked, you are the co-creators of this universe. You are co-creating with Source energy. I just want to clarify that don't feel bad, because I used to feel so, oh my God, I'm co-creating so bad. Like, I'm creating such a shitty life, like this shitty life, and I'm like, what is this? I'm co-creating a shitty life, like I'm panicking about it, then this is the ego. This is the mind. Like the minute I'm feeling crap about something, these thoughts are coming in and make me feeling less of who I am, then there's something here that's happening that I need to pay attention to. Only to evolve to the next step. And I'm sure there's more for me to uncover and unfold and go through and get epiphanies about, and things that make sense and finally click, right? But this is where I'm at now. And this feels more peaceful, which is I get to choose how to perceive when life happens, how to perceive it, right? And that is our co-creation, how I interpret. We will all interpret things differently. Notice, when your friends come and share something with you, don't you, as an outsider, find the answers and the solutions so much quicker? And you find it so easy to do. Like, yes, of course, of course you left, you kicked you out of the job because you hated it and you were free, and Source just freed you to look for something that you adore, right? Like the outsider can see it and give you that beauty. But us, when we're inside the problem, we can't see it. We just see it as a disaster, right? So that you can tell that there are different ways that people perceive things just by what their specific program and download was. So life is happening in general. There's a tree. Life is happening in general, and there's a tree, and you're looking at the tree. Someone will see the tree in a certain way, and the other person will see the tree in a different way. For example, I had this example that I used in many of my workshops, but the example is, let's say you're at a wedding, okay? There are two people at a wedding, and they go to the buffet. And at the buffet, there's a bowl of apples. And one person says, oh my God, this is so exciting. There's a bowl of apples here. I love apples. And she takes the apple and she eats it, and it's delightful. And the person next to her looks at the apple and says, oh my God, I can't stand apples. I hate apples, right? And she's looking at her friend biting into that apple with like a repulsive, like she can't hear the crunch of it. It really disturbs her, and she walks away. Now the apple didn't do anything different. It's just an apple. But each one had their own perception in life. One perceived the apple through the eyes of, maybe it gathered her family. Maybe they sat in the kitchen and they made applesauce. Maybe apples to her were when she went to the apple farm and they plucked apples. Her perception of apples were something good. Her perception of them was a good memory, a good experience. So when she sees apples, her interpretation of apple is very different from the woman who looked at the apple, felt ucky, and walked away. The other woman, most probably, had a different aspect with apple. Maybe she was forced to eat those apples, right? And stuffed down her throat. Maybe when she heard the crunch of the apple, she knew her father's coming in, and her father's a dangerous man, and this was a thing where apples are dangerous. Whatever each scenario is, and we all have that in our system, we make and interpret something, but the something is really nothing. The something is really nothing. It's just a thing. And our interpretation and how we feel about it either pulls us towards or pulls us away from. And this is where we can start to co-create, where we can start to notice what is pulling me away, work through things, try to shift our perception, see things in a different way. If I feel my pain, I also experience wonder with the pain, right? I'm co-creating, meaning I am loving everything that is happening, and I am accepting it in whichever form, and I am feeling good inside about it. And even if I'm not feeling good, I am taking care and loving the feelings that are showing up that are not feeling good about it. Is it making sense? Is co-creating making sense? Because the pressure of feeling that you're manifesting your life, right? The pressure of feeling you're failing at manifesting your life because you're not manifesting the things that you keep wanting to manifest. You're being too attached, so let's not be too attached. Let's ignore it. Let's do this. And it's exhausting, and it's depleting, and it's a cause of a lot of stress, worry, and anxiety. It's a cause of a lot of anxiety. So take a chill pill, relax, let go of the old notion that co-creating means that you have to effortfully dream and make a vision board and write your manifestation and all this. And it's more of, how do I surrender to what life has to offer me and just be at peace with all of it, or allow it to unfold the way it is, and start to look at where my attachments are. Release my attachments to things meaning something for me, and get to know myself better, get to understand myself more clearly. And that is what you'll also get to know in the free live, it's not free, but it's really inexpensive, the 3 live day workshop with anxiety, from anxiety to peace, is you're going to get to know you more. And this is the best gift you'll gift yourself. You'll gift yourself that freedom. So anyway, I love you all. Let me know in the comments, like, does this make sense for you? How have you been co-creating? What was your understanding of co-creating? Do you have another perception of co-creating? Let's just share with one another these interesting insights. Share with me your questions. Tell me who you are. Do you have any specific questions that I could do these lives regarding anything specifically? Just let me know. I love you all dearly, and please check out the From Anxiety to Peace. It's really interesting, and honestly, these lives, you gotta experience how I work on a deeper level to experience the shifts deeply. I mean, from these lives, I get messages saying that these are helping them so much. Can you just imagine when we're at a deeper level where it's actually interactive, working together? I'd love to have you all on board, and for us to co-create together a world that we're all not taken over by anxiety. Like, anxiety isn't God, doesn't dictate our lives, we don't choose what to do with our lives due to anxiety, or trying to get rid of anxiety, or we're suffocated from anxiety. But choose a different way to do things, right? A more peaceful way, an easier way to deal with life. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next live, and I'll see you in the workshop. Take care, lovely souls. Bye.